Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic. Which actor has everyone seen but nobody know the name of? Character actress Margot Martindale. I think you mean beloved character actress Margot Martindale *. Beloved character actress and fugitive from the law Margot Martindale. This woman. Noel Guglielmi, aka the guy that always plays Hector. My father just met him in our hometown. He had an itch to talk to him but was holding back because he knew him but didn't know his name. He decided to approach him and Noel was actually expecting to be recognized yet his name not known. Guess these great actors are self-aware of their famous anonymity. I'm glad it went well. I'd be too embarrassed to talk to a celebrity if I didn't know their name. Hector's going to be running 3 Honda Civics with spoon engines. And on top of that he just came into Harry's and he ordered 3 T66 turbos, with numbers, and a Motec system exhaust. Don't forget a handful of neon green washers and a diamond plate floorboard that falls out if there's a dangerous amount of pressure in a manifold that you clear up by yelling "shut up" at a laptop. James Hong. He's been in over 600 movies, TV shows, and video games throughout his career. Edit, here is a pretty good article on him from last year. Oh wow. He is the perfect example of this question. I knew him immediately when I saw him. Ah, that guy from the Chinese restaurant in Seefeld. Seefeld. 4. I just want to shout out /u/key for sharing this guy, this woman links that lead to the pictures of all these actors on replies that didn't have them. Hey. Appreciate it. This guy. Removed. This guy. Oh shit. That guy. You and your friends are dead. Oh yes. My fav line, you have any idea who you're stealing from? You and your friends are dead. Right in the beginning of The Dark Knight. You have any idea who you're stealing from? Insanely appropriate example for the thread dude. Not an actor but the Redditor that answered every single comment without a link on this thread. We all saw them but nobody remembered the name. U/key. Christopher McDonald, or as you all know him, Shooter MC Gavin. He eats pieces of shit like you for breakfast. He eats pieces of shit for breakfast. This guy. James Rebhor. So good in the game, Meet the Parents, and My Cousin Vin. Never a big role but always a crucial role. Surprised you didn't mention Independence Day or Blank Check. Cliff Curtis. Because he's never played anything like himself, but he shows up everywhere. He's Maori, but often plays Hispanic and Arabic characters. Live Free or Die Hard, 6 Days 7 Nights, The Insider, Bringing Out the Dead, Collateral Damage, Training Day, 3 Kings and Hobbs and Shaw, amongst many others. He's worked with a lot of the biggest stars and directors. Edit, since a lot of comments have mentioned it too many for me to respond to I should have said almost never played anything like himself. He has played Maori characters, but he plays other ethnicities more frequently than his own. And thanks for the broad and positive response. Was a nice thing to wake up to this morning. Fear the Walking Dead for TV as well. Edit, just remembered that I watched him in Dr. Sleep recently. I'm a fan of his, but I always forget John Michael Higgins' name, and I think a lot of people do too and / or never knew it. https://wiki/John_Michael_Higgins. I go to school with his kids and see him every Friday at Starbucks. He came to one of my plays once. His son was in it and he came up to me after and said some really sweet things about my performance. Awesome guy. I shall duck behind that couch. What a pro. Seize the day. I'll have a birthday cake. Ray Durbadija, aka every Russian gangster ever. This guy. Boris the Bullet Dodger. Boris the sneaky fucky Russian more like. Why do they call him the Bullet Dodger? Zeljko Ivic. He's always the corrupt US government official. One of the most prolific bit part actors who always plays the same kind of role. This guy. He was the good US government official in the event. Which was great, because they use him as kind of a red herring that works partly because you expect his character to be corrupt out of habit. Bern Borman. He plays a great villain. This guy. If you wanna see him play a good guy, Check out the first 2 seasons of Torchwood. He makes a great bad guy, but I always think of that show whenever I see him. Yeah, any Torchwood fan knows him by name, he's a main character in that. As a fan of The Expanse, I heartily agree. Murtry, someday I think you and I are going to end up bloody. Amos, how about now? I'm free right now. I love that show. He'll always be Drive. Herman Gottlieb from Pacific Rim. Or the scientist/researcher from that one episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia where he gives Charlie smart pills and then has his assistant, who I think is from the show Silicon Valley, observe him for the whole episode. Stephen Tobolowsky. This guy. Thank you. Why do these comments not have links? Ned. Ryaso. Absolutely Doug Jones. Reason you don't know him cause he always looks like someone or something else. https://wiki.org/Doug_Jones_left parenthesis actor right parenthesis. He is an amazing human, too. A close friend works with him on Star Trek and he is super kind and generous. I'm a huge fan of his and so when I got a liver transplant, my friend mentioned it to him and he filmed a get well video then and there. And he still asks my friend how I'm doing 3 years later. I sincerely love Doug Jones. This made my day. How are you doing? He got to show his normal-looking unedited self in the latest season of Star Trek Discovery. I absolutely love Saru. One of my favorite Star Trek captains for sure. Doug Jones was absolutely terrifying as the lead gentleman in the episode Hush on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. The Polka Dot Man from the new Suicide Squad movie. David something, see him in a lot of movies and TV. I think he was in Dark Knight as the crazy guy dressed as a cop Harvey Dent interrogated after Gordon was shot. This guy. Just so you know, you're the real MVP of this thread. All these people throwing names out with no pictures in a thread about not knowing people's names. David Dastmalkia. There we go. That guy is awesome. Pete Postlethwaite, RIP. This guy, RIP. A while ago GQ did an article called That Guy on this topic. The number 1 pick was James Cromwell. This gentleman. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Appropriate, since today, April the 5th, is First Contact Day. On April the 5th, 2063, Ephraim Cochrane James Cromwell will make first contact with the Vulcans. Cromwell is such a good actor he was able to make the line "You're all astronauts" on some sort of Star Trek sound realistic and not at all awkwardly fan service. I think he's too recognizable to be number 1. Scrolling down, he's the first one of these names I didn't have to Google. The man with the sad eyes, Vincent Schiavelli. He's in loads of stuff, James Bond and Last Action Hero etc. Vincent Schiavelli. https://name/nm0001704/right parenthesis. Says dude with sad eyes. Wikipedia page, dude wearing sunglasses covering said eyes. This dude creeped me out in Ghost. Get off my trolley. Yo, why you talk about the sad eyes but link the wiki where he has sunglasses. David Paymer. He's been in practically everything, but most people wouldn't know his name. He came into the movie theater I worked at years ago in Massachusetts and we were all scrambling to look up his name after we saw him. As he was leaving, one of my co-workers yelled, "Hey David Paymer!" at him as he left. He smiled and waved at us. Seeing famous people was not a frequent occurrence for us in the Boston suburbs, so we were pretty excited. Yes, he's the quintessential guy for this list IMO. You recognize his face, you know you've seen him in stuff, but you can never remember what movie or show and who he played. John Carroll Lynch. This guy. He is so good in everything. Recently had a good role in the trial of the Chicago 7. This seems like a perfect question to point you towards this film. https://emdb.com/title/TT2402200. Dylan Baker. One time I held the door at a hotel open for him and recognized him as Peter's Professor Drive. Kurt Connors from the Raimi Spider-Man movies. But I looked him up and will never forget his name now. This guy. Honestly /u/key you single-handedly carried this thread. Crude tale of Vince Chubby, bald-head actor with a wandering eye. Often a villain. Once you recognize him, you see him in everything. This guy. He played a turn as a good guy as the priest in Constantine. Funny, because the comment above this one is about Peter Stormare, who also starred in that movie. Does your movie /show/play need a Russian antagonist? Oleg Krupa is your guy. Ha. He was in that bad Home Alone sequel. Along with Scarlett Johansson. For some reason as a kid I had never seen the original Macaulay Culkin's Home Alone movies, but we had this one on VHS and it became my favorite movie throughout childhood. I've since seen the originals and I enjoy them, but the bad sequel that everyone hates will forever be my nostalgic favorite.